Good morning, good morning, everybody. It is Sunday, February 2nd of 2025. I just finished my morning walk, and what I normally do, I will listen to a sermon or a message, an inspirational message, whenever I go on my walk. And so um, I've listened to this message multiple times from it's Pastor Mike Jr.'s message from last week, Stepping on Toes. But you know how like you'll listen to something and it seems like you'll walk away with something different sometimes or get revelation on something else different. So there's a couple points that stood out to me this morning that he made during that message. One was God doesn't have to block it if he can work in it. And the second point was you're only arrogant when you didn't have to fight to get it. So, on the first point that he made about God not having to block something if he can work in it. So, those of us of faith understand and know that nothing catches God by surprise and that things happen, he allows certain things to happen. I've been standing on the scripture Isaiah 54:17 for decades when I was going through some of my toughest times, actually, back in the 90s. I actually had a tag, y'all remember, those of you remember, I had my little green Malibu and I had a tag on it that said no weapon. And so God allowed me to use that to witness to people because they were asking, weapon, no weapon, what's that mean? And then I had the opportunity to tell them. It is from the scripture Isaiah 54:17 that says, no weapon formed against me shall be able to prosper. So it gave me the opportunity to witness to people with that. And many times it was not, obviously, it wasn't what they expected. And so when I got the tag, I didn't even realize that it would bring up so many inquiries about it. But I got hit up by a lot of people about it because I guess it caught their eye. So we know the scripture says the weapons will not prosper. It never said that the weapons will not form against us. And I know for me, my greatest growth always came in times of trial. And as he was sharing about things that's happened to him in his journey, and like everything that he's had to fight for. And I can relate to that because there have been times in my life, things that have happened, and I'm like, God, can I get a break? You think I don't speak it out, but it's been times I'm like, can I get a break? Can I get a breather? But then I realize that some of us are called to do more. And also, I know that and be more. Not everybody strives for that, but there's some of us, I feel like me, I feel I don't have a choice. And God keeps me in that pressure cooker for a reason because there's things He's trying to draw me into my purpose and my plan, which I've been seeking. And whenever you're seeking your purpose and plans, believe it or not, you're going to have to go through some things to pull it out. It's like silver right over that refining fire, or the pressure of a diamond. Coal to become a diamond has to have pressure. The butterfly, the cocoon, the pressure of the cocoon pressing against that cocoon helps to build and develop those beautiful wings from the butterfly. So things like that, and I'm like, okay, I get it. God, I understand. This is where I am. But we're human, right? We have that flesh. And so He allows some things and doesn't block some things because we need those things to pull us into the greatness, to help pull that greatness out of us. And I've shared in many messages over the years that there are seeds of greatness inside of each and every one of us. We just need to tap into it. And when you're on a fast track, it's like even now, as I reflect and look back over my life, I understand more now why some things happened the way that they did and why my journey has been the way it has been. So God allows things to draw things out of us. And some lessons we may realize replay, right? We feel like we're having to go through the same lesson over and over again. Ask yourself why. Did you pass the test? Some things keep happening because we don't get it until we get it. So that was the first point. The second point of you're only arrogant when you didn't have to fight for it. And there are many of us that were not born with silver spoon in our mouths. And, I look at the things that are going around the country right now. And I was having a conversation recently about, I feel some of the things that have happened even to my community is because we had things a little easier. We took some things for granted, things that our ancestors fought for, we didn't have to fight for. We didn't have to get blocked out, have these whites only signs, whites only fountains. And as you look at what's happening right now, we're right back. It almost seems like we're right back in that same place where it was where our ancestors, although we're not exactly back there, but because there's some things that they did to pave the way and open doors for us that we'll not have to go through that. But we're finding ourselves in a position where we're going to have to fight once again for some of the things and the rights that we deserve. It starts with voting. And we were watching the PBS series, The Great Migration, last night. And a lot of people, you realize, the ships, they came in a lot in the South. People migrated north and other areas like Chicago and things, hoping for a better experience, a better life for their families. And at one point, they realized the power of their vote. Somewhere along the journey, we allowed other people to plant in us that our voting did not matter, and we didn't have that power. But it does matter, because if it didn't matter, they would not have fought so hard to keep us from voting and have people nonchalant and not showing up. For me, that was never an option, because I knew the history. I know the short history of this country, and whether people want to accept or not, it was built and based on racism. The underbelly, the undertones of this country is racism. It was built on the back of immigrants and my ancestors, and it's the stolen land. So you think about that. This is God's country. You have people come over, these colonizers come over and just take it away. And want to take the Native Americans, which is also part of my ancestry, and put them away and just take over the land. So you think about that for a moment. And then they come up with these things like taxes and things to take land from people that owned land. My own grandmother experienced that, losing land because of that, and not being able to pay taxes. But all of that, we stepped into an opportunity, had the opportunity to pick up the mantle and carry it forward, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen the way it should have happened. And, we had people like the John Lewises and other people of the world that fought and paved the way, and we just need to pick up the mantle. So we dropped the ball there. So as a result, we're going to have to come back together and build something, and we got to put our own candidates and stuff in there. You can't be passive, because what's going on now is going to touch everybody. If you're not a rich multi-billionaire or millionaire oligarch or something like that, everything that they're doing right now, and it's happened swiftly, is designed to put the foot on the necks of those they consider the have-nots. So don't get me wrong, there are people in our community that have made it, but not enough. And we're going to have to join together, reach back to each other, support each other through this. Now, we are resilient because we never truly overcame anything, because the underbelly, that racist underbelly, has always been there, will continue to be there until it's snuffed out. And what that will take, but I know faith over fear. Have faith in times like this, and I have no fear because I know God is still in control. And because we find ourselves in this position a lot because we never truly had to fight for anything. Now you're going to have to fight for something. If things are going to continue, if we're going to get better for us and as a community, one is going to come, we got to support each other, including our businesses and everything. And people I've had conversations with over the years about desegregation. Before desegregation, just like in other communities, we had our own communities. We had our own banks. We had our own schools. We had our own businesses. We grew our own foods. And desegregation should have been about equal access, never about breaking up our communities. They broke our communities up. They tried to put positions to strip our men from there. Like, I could go on to a lot of things and thoughts that I've had about how some things go on and some of the behaviors and what's ingrained, in people. But I was thinking about a lot of that. I've been thinking about a lot of things here lately, the position we find ourselves in. So you're only arrogant when you didn't have to fight to get it. Arrogant is not always just being haughty. Arrogant could be just literally taking something for granted that it's always going to be there. So there are a lot of changes going on in this country, and everybody needs to pay attention. Everybody needs to start planning and thinking about how you're going to take care of yourselves and your families. So just wanted to share that this morning. And also while it's Black History Month, I'm going to be intentionally every day or every month of this year, because my history, I'm Black every day. And you know how some people, they don't understand. They have the luxury of not being judged by their skin. I'm Black every day. You see that I'm a Black person. And there are not enough people in this world, in this country, that understand that we're human. But I do think it's going to be enough people that stand up and are not going to take it, what they're trying to do right now. But pay attention. Get your head out of the sand. Pay attention to what's going on and figure out what you're going to do. What is your plan for you and your family and your loved ones? Because it's going to get serious. As for me and my family, we serve a God that we know will have our back. We're resilient. And we've been here before. Like, we're still in it for the most part. I live in Florida. Enough said. So, yeah, but we're fit for the fight. I don't want anybody to lose hope or whatever, but develop a plan. Time is now to develop a plan. Stay plugged in. Learn our history. More than ever, teach our history to our kids and our children, because they're trying to erase it. But as I've said in some of my posts, I am Black history, and I will not be erased. And the legacy of our people cannot be erased. We've made our footprint here. We're here. We're not going anywhere. And we have hope, because we're not hopeless, because we know what to do to survive. We know what to do to survive. We've been here before. Unfortunately, they're trying to take us there again, but you got a choice to make. All right, you guys, so be blessed. Have a wonderful and awesome day. That was just on my heart to share today. Keep hope alive, and stay faithful, but take the steps that you need to take care of you and your family. Develop a game plan. Do what you need to do. All right, stay blessed. Love you all. Until next time, I'm out.